What if I told you your life is being controlled by people who don't even understand you? And the worst part? You gave them that power. But one truth can take it all back. In a dense, quiet forest, where sunlight struggled to touch the ground, there lived a young deer. Deer was not the strongest, not the fastest, not the most beautiful, but he was kind. He helped birds build nests. He guided lost animals back home. He shared whatever little food he found. And yet, he was never at peace, because deer had a habit. He listened too much, not to the wind, not to the forest, but to opinions. One afternoon, as deer walked near the trees, a group of monkeys laughed loudly. Look at his legs. Too thin. He runs like he might fall any second. The monkeys burst into laughter. Deer stopped, looked down at his legs. Are they really that bad? That night, he didn't sleep well. The next day, he met a fox. You eat too simply, the fox said, circling him. No taste, no variety, no style. Deer blinked. I just eat what I find. The fox smirked. Exactly. And walked away. Deer stood there, confused. Am I doing it wrong? A few days later, a peacock crossed his path. Elegant, proud, perfect. The peacock looked at him once, then said, You should really take care of how you look. You don't stand out at all. And just like that, he walked away. Deer didn't move. Not for a long time. Days turned into weeks. The voices didn't leave. They stayed, echoing, repeating, growing louder. You're not good enough. You're too simple. You're not impressive. Deer began to change. He stopped running freely, afraid someone would watch. He stopped eating peacefully, afraid someone would judge. He stopped helping others, afraid he wasn't doing it right. Slowly, he became quieter, smaller, almost invisible. Not because the forest changed, but because he did. One evening, Deer stood near a still pond. He looked at his reflection, and for the first time, he didn't recognize himself. Not his body, not his eyes, not his spirit. I don't know who I am anymore, he whispered. And in that moment, something inside him broke, not loudly, but deeply. From behind him, a calm voice spoke. Then why are you trying to become what others say you are? Deer turned. An old elephant stood there, still, calm, watching. Deer lowered his head. I don't know how not to listen. The elephant walked closer, slow, grounded. Tell me, he said, who gave them the right to define you? Deer hesitated. They didn't. You just believed them, the elephant completed. Silence. The elephant looked at the pond, then back at Deer. The forest is full of voices, he said. Monkeys will laugh. Foxes will criticize. Peacocks will compare. That's their nature, Deer whispered. Then, what should I do? The elephant stepped closer, his voice steady. Stop making their voices your truth. Deer looked up, confused. The elephant continued. Their opinions don't define you. They reveal them. A pause. The monkey sees weakness because it only understands agility. The fox sees lack because it only values cleverness. The peacock sees dullness because it worships appearance. He looked directly into Deer's eyes. But none of them are you. Deer's breath slowed. The elephant spoke one last time. Their words have no power unless you give them power, and you have been giving it away. Deer felt something shift, not outside, inside, like a weight he didn't know he was carrying had just been named. Deer looked back at the pond. This time, he didn't see a broken deer. He saw someone who had simply forgotten his own voice. He took a deep breath, and for the first time, he asked himself, "What do I think about me?" The next day, the monkeys laughed again. Deer paused, then smiled, and kept walking. The fox criticized him again. Deer nodded and continued eating peacefully. The peacock judged him again. Deer didn't respond, because this time, he didn't need to. Freedom days passed. The forest didn't change. Other animals still spoke, still judged, still compared. But Deer was no longer affected, because now he understood something powerful. He was not responsible for managing their thoughts, only his own. And that changed everything. The world will always have opinions, but they only become your reality when you start believing them. So ask yourself, are you living your life or reacting to theirs? Because the moment you stop giving power to their voices is the moment you finally become free from managing what others think about you, to only deciding what you believe about yourself. Until the next story, protect your mind from borrowed voices, because the moment you stop living by their opinions is the moment you finally start living your own life.